It's ironic how stories like this always start out with average beginnings. No ominous thunderstorms, nor any terrifying nightmares, or any other abnormalities warned me of what was to come. It was only a normal day that went horrifyingly wrong. I laid in bed, on the verge of falling asleep, when I heard a noise pierce the silence of my bedroom. Quickly opening my eyes, I searched my dimly lit room for the source of the sound, but I saw nothing out of the ordinary. I buried myself under my covers until I was sure any intruder hiding in my room couldn't see me. Undoubtedly, all my rational thinking had left me. Puzzled, I lay down shivering even though I was wrapped in my blankets. My mind wandered to all the possible things that could have caused the noise, but I soon realized it was hard to convince myself that the sound had any sensible explanation. Eventually, I mustered up enough courage to take one last look around my room. Making a small hole in my blankets, I peered in every direction. I saw nothing at first, but then I noticed a small, hunched-over figure in the corner of my room. I froze, too afraid to make a single movement. My breath came in ragged gasps. I shut my eyes and attempted to calm myself down, but to no avail. After panicking for several minutes, I slowly convinced myself the creature was only my pet. My cat often sat in the corner of my room, and he also enjoyed knocking things off of my desk. It was easy to believe that my lovely feline friend was behind all this mischief. I laughed at myself as I snuggled back into bed. I found it hard to sleep, even though I knew it was my cat with me. Something just didn't feel right. I pondered what could possibly be wrong when the realization hit me. My cat had decided to sleep in the living room tonight, instead of with me. As my heart skipped a beat, I stifled a shrill scream. I told myself it was only my imagination. Maybe all the horror movies I watched had finally caught up with me like my mother always said they would. Despite my skepticism, I still reached for the knife concealed under my pillow, but before my fingers could wrap around the handle, my covers were ripped away from me. A hand covered my mouth before I could yell out. I bit down on it, drawing blood. The only thing that stopped me was the familiar voice cry out in pain. "Ouch, baby, relax, it's only me," said my boyfriend. "Jesus Christ, you scared me. You have a key. Why not use the front door like a normal human being?" I exclaimed. A crooked smile took over his face. "Because then I couldn't scare you," he growled. I laughed uncomfortably and tried to rise out of bed. I knew that something was very wrong, because my lover never acted like this. While sniffing the air, I tried to detect the aroma or alcohol, or maybe even drugs, but I smelled nothing. "I'm gonna make some coffee for us," I choked out, looking for any excuse to get away. As soon as I got out of sight, I planned on running into my neighbor's apartment until whatever had come over him was gone. Unfortunately, I never got the chance. "No," he snarled at me. He pushed me back down, his normally blue eyes changed to a deep red. I struggled to get away, but his sharp claws dug into my shoulder. The skin that once resembled my love's handsome face melted off. The slimy flesh fell onto me and burned like acid. As I realized what to become of me, sobs racked my body. I looked into the creature's eyes for any signs of pity, but I gave up hope on receiving any. "Please, please don't hurt me," I cried pathetically. Even though I knew my cry would be ignored, I couldn't help but beg. Now before me was a monster. Under the skin it once inhabited was a hideous, deformed beast. Not only were its irises blood red, but its entire eye. The thing had no skin, and blood seeped through its tissues and cartilage, staining my sheets. Poking out of the creature's short, crooked fingers were black, razor-sharp claws. After the beast's transformation, it could no longer speak, and instead let out brief grunts and growls. Whenever I tried to avert my eyes from the horror, the beast dug its claws into my cheeks, making me look at its ghastly face. Gazing into my eyes, the beast leaned towards me. It put what used to be its lips against mine. I let out a whimper as an acrid taste filled my mouth. "Please, no," I whispered. Then the creature gripped my throat with its claws until blood poured uncontrollably from my neck. I tried to scream out, but I choked on my own blood. The beast let out a blood-curdling howl as it ran out of my room, and I laid there, staring at my own blood, the phone just out of arm's reach.